Okay, perfect. It loads up. Okay, so we're gonna go through playing on difficult, obviously. Also call to save, yes. Yeah, combat movement, it's fine. Mouse settings, mouse sensitivity, we can turn that down. That's fine. Sound, we're gonna turn that down. We're gonna keep voices high. Sound effects we can turn down. Volume we can turn down. And again, guys, please let me know with certain sound settings if something is too quiet. Please, 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 please let me know. Screen resolution, yep, at 60. Advanced option. We're gonna turn all the way up, all the way up. Shadows, yes. All of the above. Let's wait for it to come back on. Yep. Okay. Sounds look after. Graphics were looked after. Auto pause. Good there. Feedback. All I want. Okay. I think we're good to go, guys. Okay. New game. Okay, so Gunslinger build. It's a build that is, if you do it right, it is the highest damage per second build that you can do in this game. Which kind of sounds weird because lightsaber force powers. Duh. No, not that simple. Blasters, if done right, are the highest damage per second because 1, you have 2 of them, and 3, their attack rate is much faster than a lightsaber. And when I say much faster, minuscule in terms of coding. One sec. So anyways, there are certain classes that are best for this. The Jedi Guardian is preferred for this, but and actually, sorry, I'll tell you why the Guardian is preferred. The Guardian's preferred is because when you get the max light side bonus, it is better. It has a better stat to help gunslingers than any other class does. But the light side isn't the best. You actually want to be a dark side Jedi Guardian that eventually goes into a Marauder, a Sith Marauder. The reason for that is because it actually gives you a Dex bonus and 2-hit bonus for blasters, which is kind of weird. However, I'm not going to be doing that because Jedi Guardians don't exactly get a lot of skills, and in case I don't get a lot of the loot, I want to have those skills prepared. So we will actually be going with a Jedi Sentinel instead. Sentinels get a lot of skills at the start. Not so many feats, not as many as the Guardian does, but we're not really worried about feats right now. We're worried about skills because we want our loot, we want our gear. That is where our stats come from. Because if we can boost our stats, what our stats at doesn't matter a whole lot. There's an asterisk there. Beyond that, so we're going to be picking a Jedi Sentinel. I'm also going to be doing a light side playthrough, so I'm really making it hard on myself. But hey, it's a challenge. So we're going to do a light side Jedi Sentinel, which their max light side bonus doesn't really do much for Gunslinger, but hey, it's what I like doing. So we're going to be doing a canonical playthrough. I'm just noticing that this is stuttering a little bit. That's interesting. Let's try not doing a game capture, maybe? Let's try doing window capture. What? Or maybe it's a monitor capture. I wonder if it's monitor capture. Monitor comes up if I click this. Okay. That's fine. Troubleshooting live. Okay. So, canonical playthrough, Jedi female, Sentinel. We're gonna start off with that. Alright. Okay, so we're gonna do a custom character portrait. Well, let's find something that I like. Like that. Okay, attributes. Here's the thing. The build that a lot of people recommend is you go into the negative on strength. I don't like doing that because I don't like having negative stats, which does take away from other stats. So for instance, I will put up the build that a lot of people recommend, and then I'm going to put in the build that I recommend because it's still directed towards gunslinging, but it's very adaptable in there. So the build that they want, that a lot of people say to do, is 8 strength, so you get a -1, so it's actually at 7. I don't know about that. But again, if you're just going for pure gunslinger, you don't need strength. Strength is melee. Constitution, they want really high. This is 14. Intelligence, they want at 14, so that you can get more skill points, which makes sense. And 12 wisdom, which is force. You don't need a whole lot of force. 12 is about where you want it anyway. And then charisma, they want at 12. That is the build that they recommend. I don't necessarily agree with it. Here's why. Because of this. There are parts in the game where melee does help, and especially if you do want to become Omni with a lightsaber. So if you want to have a gunslinger focus but also use a lightsaber sometimes, having negative strength is going to hurt you so bad. It's going to hurt you so bad. So what I ended up doing is I docked off 1 point on wisdom, so I can, or 2 points off wisdom, sorry, so I can get strength at a negative and wisdom's at 10. And then I removed 1 off of constitution, added it back to wisdom. And what else did I do here? Oh, that's it. Yeah. So I just kind of shuffled a little bit of the points around. I got strength out of the negative. I still don't need strength technically, but at least it's out of the negative in case I wanted to use a melee weapon. I don't think I will be, but it's just there. It's not run into the negative. That's my main point. I don't want negative stats. Wisdom is just breaking even, which is fine. You don't need a whole lot of wisdom as a gunslinger. You just need enough force points to cast flurry and force speed and a couple other minor force powers that don't take up a whole lot of force points, so you don't need a shit ton of wisdom. You don't need it at all. In fact, I could actually take it down another one and use a point somewhere else, which I actually will do. I'll put Constitution at 14. Yeah, and Constitution is also important because you can actually get Dex-based implants, which is an equipable item that boosts your main attributes, mostly. Some of them give you skills that you would otherwise not have, and skill bonuses, etc. So yeah, we're gonna rock with this. And I'm gonna write this down because it's an updated build. Wisdom. 12 charisma. Okay, so we're gonna rock with that. Okay, now skills. This is hugely important because these skills will determine what gear that we can make for a character later on, and because the Sentinel gets a shitload of these, which you can't see right now, you can see 20 in between Mandalorian Disintegrators and Rippers. We have a lot of skills to progress. So, to get the actual ones that we want, we need high awareness, security, and repair and demolitions. Now you can see that the Sentinel doesn't natively get some of these skills. So the ones that are highlighted in orange here are going to be ones that your class has natively, and they only take 1 skill point to level up. So as you can see, as I hit 1, that number in between there is going down by 1. Right? Now if I was getting a skill that is not part of my class, it takes 2 skill points just for 1. And I can only level it half as far. So eventually, we're going to need to cross-train in either repair or demolitions, which the best one for us is going to be repair. So eventually we'll need a repair skill, and I want a repair skill anyway, because repair is actually kind of fun. You can do a lot of cool things in this game if you have a good repair skill. On the flip side, you don't actually need all these skills, you just need people in your party to have these skills. But since we're possibly doing New Game Pluses of this, might as well get everything. Right? So, computer use is also a necessary skill for us. Stealth will also get us some gear. So computer use is very important. Awareness, very important. Security, very important. Alright, so now we got 8 points left. We'll do 2 into Persuade. 4 to Treat Injury, because that can get really annoying. And then 2 to Stealth. That's pretty balanced. I'm not placing a huge importance on Stealth, because the Stealth-related items that you can make are not as strong as the other ones, so I won't be leveling up that one as much. Okay, and then feats. So we get some just off of the rip. Obviously, we have to use light armor. Duh. We get basic attacks for melee. We get basic attacks for ranged. Rapid shot is what we're going to be going into. All right. We're going to be ignoring sniper and power blast for the most part, so that saves us a couple feats. Weapon proficiencies. This allows us to use these weapons. Obviously, we need them, so the game is going to give them to us. Jedi defense, since we're starting as a Jedi in this game. KotoR 1. Why would you? No. So we get natural Jedi defense, force immunity to fear, Jedi sense, and War Veteran is a unique feat that we will look at in a second. Where are you? Question. Where does it actually put that feat? Thought it was down here. Essentially what War Veteran is, it's an unarmed combat boost, and the reason why you get a War Veteran feat is because your character is a war veteran. Why not? It's an unarmed feat. I don't really care about it. I think there's a few other minor bonuses in there, but I don't... Yeah, not really worth noting. So we get to pick 1 feat right off the bat. We are not going to have 2 weapons immediately, so we can ignore 2-weapon fighting for now. For now. Next level, we probably would actually start caring about it. Caution doesn't really do much for us. Empathy does not really do much for us. We won't need it. Gearhead is actually pretty useful, but since we're going for combat performance first, and skills second, we don't really need to worry about that right now. Conditioning, same thing, don't really need to worry about it. Toughness is actually pretty useful, however, we don't need it right now, since its bonuses can be gained at any point in time, as you can see there. This feat gives the character 1 extra vitality point every time they level up, and it gives you the health points for level 0 to gain. So we don't need it right now. What else do we got here? We got dueling. Yeah, okay, so dueling is only using 1 single-handed weapon. Since we're going to be dual wielding for majority of the game, this is a useless feat. We don't need to worry about it. Now we could go into cross class right now, but I'm actually going to save that for a later level that is still going to be on Paragus, but it won't be the first one. So we're going to save that. Dual Strike. This one is very useful, but not until later, because we don't get companions for a little bit. Finesse lightsabers doesn't really matter since we're not going to be using lightsabers. Finesse melee weapons doesn't really matter since we're not going to be using melee weapons. So the only thing that makes sense is either medium armor or blaster pistol, which I think will go, because we do want medium armor. We do want blaster pistol. You know what? We're going to go with blaster pistol. Okay. Name. We will do the canonical name. Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Matrix Circ, and then now we can hit the play button. Okay, so let me go over the loot. Up there. This is in order of importance. The blasters are the most important thing because, good golly, do they do so much damage. They are literally overpowered. So, right off the bat, Mandalorian Disintegrators are the most broken... Yeah. Micro Pulse Blasters get very close. More so than the Rippers, and I'll explain why in a second. Mandalorian Disintegrators are the most broken gun in this game, for the reason that not only are they fully upgradable, but their base damage is 7. And their max damage base is 17. So just off the bat, if you hit, minimum you're hitting a 7. That's ridiculous. And then you can upgrade that further, and the best possible damage you can get out of Mandalorian Disintegrator is 27 to 53. So if you hit, no matter what, you're doing a 27. Past that, you can have 2 of them, and past that, you can have 4 attack rolls in a single combat turn. So potentially you're doing over 200 damage in a single attack roll, which will kill most NPCs. The only ones that it doesn't kill are bosses and certain Sith enemies on Malachor. This is pretty ridiculous. Micro Pulse Blasters get close. The reason why Mandalorian Rippers are the second is because they have the second highest base damage, but the third highest overall damage, which doesn't make sense, but it's just how upgrades work on that gun. Micro Pulse Blasters are the third best base, but second best overall. And then Zabrak Blasters come in underneath that. And then, of course, we need Dex Armor and Dex stuff, because Dexterity obviously increases our defense and blaster damage for using those. So, pretty self-explanatory. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are ready to go. I think I've explained everything with the build and what we're doing. So, just to reiterate again, guys, this is a restored content mod lore through playthrough. I'll be going through absolutely everything I can in a single playthrough of this game, with potential for new game plus in the future. I'll be explaining a lot of details as I go, behind the scenes stuff, game development, fun facts, blah blah blah, and you guys are going to learn a lot about this game. It's one of my top 3 favorite games of all time, and I hope that you guys are here because you also enjoyed the nostalgia. Let's get started. I hope it captures movies. Yeah. Does it look like I'm watching it? Yeah, it does.
Hyperdrive offline. Multiple hull breaches detected. Proximity alert. The Ebon Hawk is adrift in space after a terrible battle. Most of
First
its crew
person you
are
see
dead or dying.
is the final boss.
You lie in the medical
Brilliant.
room in critical condition. You won't survive long without medical attention. The hyperdrive is damaged. Main power must be restored in order to bring the engines online and dock with the nearby Paragus mining station for much-needed repairs. Your fate and that of the Ebon Hawk depend upon T3M4, a lone astromech droid. Return to this location at any time to skip the prologue.
I think I have conflicting character textures. I need to fix that. Okay, so normally I would skip the tutorial because it just explains how controls work and certain functions of the game work. But this is 100% lore through, so we're gonna do it. But first, I need to save the game. Really?
SD to move T3M4.
I need to fix the...
Press caps lock to toggle first person free look.
I need to fix the textures first. Hold on. Sorry. One sec. We'll be right back to the gameplay. I know it's been 30 minutes of explaining, but I just need a second. Because it's gonna be bad if I don't do playthrough justice because of texture bugs. Going. I want, I think. Okay. Pick. Verify integrity of files. Sorry guys, one moment. I'll play music for you. I didn't think there would be conflicting textures, but apparently there is. So how are you guys doing today? You guys excited for this playthrough? I know I am. Last time I tried doing this playthrough, which the first 3 parts are on YouTube, which I can actually delete now. I was not in a good mindset. I seemed so bored. I was very bored. But this time around, I'm very excited to play this game. It's such a good game. If you guys have not experienced this game, obviously I apologize for saying spoilers right away, but this is a lore through playthrough. You're getting everything as it comes along. But if you haven't played it, I highly recommend, despite me telling you everything, I highly recommend you go play through it yourself because, one, it's the best goddamn Star Wars story you will ever experience in your life because it is very deconstructionist. If you don't know what that means, Google it. And it's done in a very really good way too. Third, the gameplay is very, very good. Obviously, if you're not used to turn-based combat, you've not played D&D. If you have played D&D, you're gonna very much enjoy this game. Actually, if you have not played D&D, hello, I have not played D&D, you'll still probably enjoy this game. It's just so good. It's so polished, and you really should play it with Restored Content mod. You can get it on Steam. And the Restore Content mod is on the workshop there, so you can just download everything in one go. Easy. You'll easily get 30 hours out of this game. Okay, the checks are almost done. Okay, we're good. Those intro screens are so loud. Okay. Hopefully I don't have overlapping textures, but we'll go check that right away. Alright. Whoa, that is some crazy. That's some crazy sensitivity. Why did that reset? What? Why did everything reset? What you mean? Let's give it a sec. There we go. Oh, force speed effects off. Give it a sec. That up. We're gonna write this.
To view your quests, open the game.
Okay. Oh right, I was changing my goddamn sensitivity.
Escape and look in the journal.
Okay.
Default game. This room contains a plasteel cylinder and the communications console. To target one of these objects, move close to it, left-click on it, or
That's inverted.
or E to cycle through the belt.
I love this. Reverse mouse Y. Yes.
Hold target.
There we go.
Interact with an
Okay.
object. First target it, and then left-click on it. You will come across many containers.
I know how mechanics of the game work. And people watching don't need to know as well, but we're here.
This is the main hold.
Okay, the first thing I need to do is security. Realize that I can't and learn to bash. I'll explain what bashing does in a second. So bashing has a chance to break components or chemicals. I think they're called. They're the two crafting items in the game. They have a chance to break them. And if they break, they turn into broken items, which is just trash. Which, ironically, can be broken down into components. Oh, sorry. It's components and chemicals. Yes. But these can actually be broken down back into chemicals. I don't think as much as what they give, though.
Sometimes bashing or blowing open a container will break some of the items in the container. But
Thanks, game, for explaining what I just said in a worse way. Alright, so we're gonna access security cameras. That's the garage door. Inside the garage door. That's the engine room. Lift. Access security doors. We're gonna open the... Right, can't do that yet. Okay. Come back to that in a second.
If you need help exploring the Ebon Hawk, access the map screen by pressing M. This blast door is magnetically sealed and cannot...
Is that the one that has to be opened from the outside?
This is the main hold.
I think it is.
This old woman appears to be dead. There is a key card on the body that looks like it opens a locker somewhere.
She's not. Oh gee, I wonder what that knocking is. We'll find out. That's a broken droid.
This blast
Right.
door is magnetically sealed and cannot be opened.
This can be opened.
This is the medical room.
Hey, look, the textures are fixed. We can continue with the playthrough.
You have found med packs.
Yep, cool.
The med pack can
Yes.
success.
I got stabilized. I won't be skipping through dialogue as much as I can help it after this part, after the tutorial. The tutorial is just so bad.
This lift will take...
I get it. But since we're doing 100%, I have to go through this.
This is the cargo hold.
It's that security locker. Ah, okay, so we already got upgrades.
Found to open the locker. The impact armor from this locker can be... You must lower your difficulty setting in order to open this lock. Access the options screen. If you encounter a difficult lock on a container or door, you can use the security... You must lower your difficulty setting in order to open this
I forget what's actually in here, so...
lock. Access the options screen and select gameplay. The lock on this metal box is too difficult to open. You can use one of the security tunnelers you found to crack this lock. Select the security tunnel.
So essentially what gameplay does, changing this, will add difficulty checks onto every single roll, essentially.
Tunneler by clicking on the arrows above or below the security icon. Talking to other... Note that for...
You can fix him, which helps you access a part of the ship.
Success.
You also get experience for it.
Is now a member of your party. To change which party member
I want invent... No, I actually wanted the equip screen. Okay. The shock arm, we got droid impact armor. We otherwise would not have.
click on their portrait or press tab. Later, when you have more companions, you can add and remove party members from the party.
And then these drones pop out. They don't do anything. They just give you combat XP and teaches you about combat.
When you opened it, these droids will make for excellent target practice. Use the weapon from this container to attack the droids. You can equip a weapon from the equip screen. To open the...
Press U. I think I should redo the keybinds.
blaster icon. Change your target. Good work defeating the sensor droid.
This is really loud to me.
Continue combat training, open the metal box again, and more sensor droids will appear.
Thankfully, I can edit the sound on my interface without having to adjust the volume for everyone else. Okay. Now that we've got that taken care of, so since we now have a companion, and we need more parts before we go to the engine room, I know this because I played the game, we can actually do the thing here. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn on solo mode, which allows us to move characters around without having the other ones move. We're going to go here. We're going to have T3 access this cool console and access security doors. I'm going to close the outer door. Alright. Open the inner door. And then, hey, guess what? He's there. Okay, then we're going to log out. Switch characters. Check it out.
These sparking wires connect to the trigger mechanism for the inner and outer garage doors.
This is the most pointless thing. I get why they did it, because once you do a puzzle, there's always another way for it to be done once you're there. But this serves as no purpose, because this would just get you T3 in here, and there's no reason for that. There's no reason to have both droids in here, so we're just gonna do nothing.
This is a work because you.
We are gonna use this workbench for nothing. Because I just realized what I wanted to do is actually gonna use items, and I don't want to do it.
The door is sealed shut, but the magnetic clamps are not engaged. You may be able to override the door's locking mechanism from out. This is the starboard.
I forgot you have to go outside first. God damn it. That sucks. Okay. Close. Open. Log out. Solo mode. Off.
This is the utility lift.
No shit.
You can use.
I want to go outside, please. Okay, first fun fact. Coming right up. After this cutscene. First fun fact, that planet is smaller than the ship. Because obviously having a planet that is bigger than the ship, or as big as it's supposed to be in a game that is this old, 2004, it would crash the game. And it would also take a lot more storage data than the entire game itself. But, as you can see, especially when you kind of turn, you can kind of see how the sprites work. So, for instance, these asteroids right here are 3D. The ones behind them are flat. They are paper-thin flat, because game textures. And then the planet beyond it is obviously also a flat texture, too. But, essentially, in the actual game files, if you're able to go into and actually load up this very scene in this area, you'll quickly realize that the Ebon Hawk is about 2 times as bigger as the actual sprite for Paragus. And I say sprite as in like the image sprite. It's a technical term. So there's your fun fact. The Ebon Hawk is bigger than a planet.
This is the starboard side of the Ebon Hawk.
No, really? Alright, so what we're doing over here is for fixing the engine. Hello? Okay, and then these sparking wires over here will get us access to that other door.
Success.
It uses one part, but you can spare that one part. Hello? There we go.
Don't forget to explore. This is the bubbles ahead indicate approach mod.
Yes. Okay, so yeah, the bubbles just basically say, hey, there are mines here, and the ones in red are obviously
This is one of the Ebenhawk's quad laser
bad. Ones that will be white, obviously friendly. So recovering mines, so there's two things you can do with mines. You can recover them, and you can disable them. Disable obviously just gets rid of them. You get a little bit of XP. And then recovering them not only disables the mines, you also get to pick up the mine and you can use it afterward. And also gets you more XP, but requires higher demolitions. I think we can recover these. Nope, on other difficulties you can. Yep. I will stop doing this after the tutorial. I promise.
You can use the explosive device.
Yeah. So we needed an explosive to blast open the door, which is another door opening mechanic that they want to teach you. And then we also needed the parts out here to actually fix the harbor drive so that we can progress. That's essentially where that is at. Okay. So now we're back here.
This is the main hole.
I'm gonna do the door shit again. Alright, so we're gonna plop them right here. Switch characters, access the console, doors, closed, open, log out. And hey, doors open.
This is the starboard dormitory. This is the starboard dormitory. This is the starboard dormitory.
That is a bug.
This is the starboard dormitory.
It thinks the door is still here.
This is the starboard dormitory. This is the starboard dormitory.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, well. Whatever. I think what is there is a droid flamethrower. But we can get those later. Oh, right, I have to. Think? Nope. So, friendly mines do not damage you. You can stand right in them, they'll explode when an enemy comes into it, but they won't damage you. Observe. No damage. Didn't even care.
The port engine is shut down, but appears intact. Fixing the hyperdrive will allow... The hyperdrive is suffering bad... However... Success. Only one...
Okay. So we are officially done with the Eben Hawk tutorial section. Took way longer than needed because... extra issues.
This is the cockpit.
Yep.
Can now...
Alright, so now we're going to travel to Progress. Alright. It crash.
The sensors show the door to the storage compartment is being sliced. There is someone, or something, else alive on the Ebon Hawk.
I wonder if it had something to do with the knocking. I don't know, that droid looked awfully familiar. Second fun fact of the game, and I'll say it right after the first word is spoken. In the dialogue files for that very line, there is a comment in those files. A comment being, if you're into coding, a comment is essentially code in that file that explains something that actually doesn't affect the code. That's a really bad explanation. Essentially, they wrote something in the file that does not affect the file. It's just basically a designer note. In that comment, says awakening is a theme of the game. Duh. But if you notice, the station obviously wakes to life around Mysterious Stranger here. But everything else that you associate it with wakes up. It's like, for instance, if you're versed in the story, obviously, this is the true Force Awakens. Really, the Force Awakens in your character. Everybody seems to come into being when they meet you, and everything else seems to revolve around you. So awakening is the theme of the game. Just keep that in mind. Also, they really love echoes in this game. That's gonna be a meme. Okay, so journal entry. We'll be reading through these as we go. For August 2, you have awakened in a medical bay in an unknown facility. The last thing you remember is being a passenger on the Republic capital ship, the Harbinger. You should find out where you are and how you got here. We're gonna do that in a minute, because it's first break time. We're at an hour in. Yeah, we've been going for an hour already. I'm gonna I'm gonna hit up the bathroom, grab something to drink, maybe a little snack, and we're gonna officially now actually start the actual gameplay and playthrough of this game. So I will put on some music, or the game can play music. That's fine. I thought it was just gonna stay silent. We'll let that go. I'll be back in a couple minutes, guys. I'm gonna try to drink this today. This is a liter and a half of water. It's also kind of cold in here. One sec. We'll let it warm up a little bit. Okay. Alright, let's get started. Okay. Yep, so we can use the KotoR tank to heal our wounds if we get injured, but we won't need to. This door is going to be locked, that we can't actually access, and this one's damaged and we need a plasma torch to break it. So we're going to instead go in here. Do med packs. Security this already? Yep. So doing stuff using your skills as a base will net you more XP than otherwise. And here we're all about that XP. And here's the lab station. It's essentially the chemical version of the workbench. And we're gonna listen to some logs.
Still examining the survivors of the damaged freighter. Looks like it goes by the name of the Ebon Hawk. Only one survivor, placed in the KotoR tank for recovery. The carbon scoring on the vessel suggests it was in a battle, but no indication of who fired on it. Couldn't get much from the Nava computer. I'm surprised the ship was able to make it inside the Paragus asteroid field without the asteroid drift charts. Aside from the lone survivor, we recovered an old woman. No life signs. There was also a protocol droid and a utility droid on board. Sent both down to maintenance while security sorts through the other items on the ship. It looks like the utility droid, a T3 unit, was able to get the ship working enough to get to the colony. We're prepared to...
Oh.
Could be a Jedi, but we won't know for sure until we get the transmission back from the Republic. If the survivor is a Jedi, that would account for the recovery rate. But I'm more concerned that a Jedi here may cause trouble. Some of the miners, especially KotoR, are already another accident today. A detonation in the ventilation tunnels. If the lockdown measures hadn't activated, the whole facility would have been destroyed. Got most of the injured to the KotoR tanks in time, but the rest had to go to the morgue. One of the wounded said a droid caused the accident, but we couldn't get any specifics.
Alright, and 1 day ago.
Miners about the Jedi. A number of the droids have been acting oddly, and not even memory wipes seem to be fixing the problem. There was a detonation in another one of the fuel vents the droids were working in. We deactivated several of them, and moved them down to maintenance. But we're still treating the plasma burns. That cuts us down to almost half shifts, and with the droids malfunctioning, we may not make the Telos shipment for this month. Fortunately, the detonation didn't cause a lockdown.
Warning. There has been a fuel detonation in the mining tunnels. Emergency lockdown commencing. All personnel report to quarters and prepare for emergency venting countermeasures.
No! If the ventilation systems are malfunctioning, evacuate the medical bay! Everyone evacuate!
So something happened while we were incapacitated there. Very, very, very interesting. I guess we'll have to find out more. Okay, patient life signs. Everyone but us died. Treatment. All subjects being treated for severe plasma burns. Last treatment request resulted in death for all subjects except for patient 3, who was reduced to minimal life signs. Thanks. Let's check that treatment request. A lethal dose of sedatives was administered to all tanks, including 3. There is no record of who ordered that treatment. We don't have a spike, so we can't track it. But if we did, it would say, this computer has been cut off from the main terminal, and the request cannot be traced. So got that. Medical bay functions where we were, and for some reason I like how the camera would be floating in midair in that scene. Org camera. Oh hey, it's the same old lady in the very same death pose as she was before. Inventory. Yep. That it? Yes, unlock door. Alright. Moving on. Game's gonna tell me she's dead. Yep. I don't know, man. I get the feeling she's alive, actually. Oh, gee, who would have guessed?
Find what you're looking for amongst the dead?
I thought you were dead. Because the game told me 5 times.
Yes, closer than I'd like. You have the smell of the KotoR tank about you. How do you feel?
A little drained. Who are you?
I am Kreia, and I am your rescuer, as you are mine. Tell me, do you recall what happened?
Last thing I remember, I was aboard a Republic ship, the Harbinger. What happened to it?
Your ship was attacked. You were the only survivor. A result of your Jedi training, no doubt.
What background do I want to do? If you think I'm a Jedi, you're mistaken. We'll be bitter about it.
Your stance, your walk tells me you are a Jedi. Your walk is heavy. You carry something that weighs you down.
Jedi Order and I have a troubled history.
So it would seem. Keep your past and let us focus on the now.
Sounds good. Alright, what's going on? How did we get here?
I do not know. I was removed from the events of the world as I slept. A survey of the surroundings may provide the answers we seek. The ship we arrived in, the Ebon Hawk, must still be in this place. We should recover it and leave.
How do you know it's the Ebon Hawk? Weren't you, knocked the fuck out the entire time? Why do we need to leave?
We were attacked once, and I fear our attackers will not give up the hunt so easily. Without transport, weapons, and information, they will find us easy prey indeed.
It sounds like she knows who they are. And we'll use the awareness skill for that.
Even as I slept, I felt much unrest here. I saw strange visions, minds colored with fear. Now, everything here feels terribly silent. A last word of caution. I would find out as much as you can about this place quickly. I fear we will need to depart as suddenly as we arrived.
She's not wrong. We'll go look for our ship and some weapons.
You may wish to extend your search to some clothes, if only for proper first impressions.
Noted. Persuade. Patients in the medbay were killed by a lethal dose of sedatives. Any idea how it happened?
I do not know. Why did they spare you?
They didn't. I got the same dose, but survived.
Indeed, a Jedi trance could protect one from such poisons. In fact, the sedatives may have been intended to keep you unconscious for some time. It would prove lethal to those untrained in such techniques, however. Most curious.
Indeed, you seem to know a lot about Jedi technique.
And so do you. Perhaps we could discuss it at length later on. Now we have other concerns, among them finding our new enemy.
I'll return soon.
I leave you to the explorations of this place. Here I will remain and attempt to center myself.
I'm gonna adjust the sound settings one time. Alright, so we got light side points for that. What we want is... Is that a movement on? Okay. So here's our character sheet. Alright. We need 1,000 experience for level 1. And here's our light side, dark side. Fun fact. Fun fact number 3, I think. Yeah, 3. The dark side, light side in code is not actually what you think. It is a morality bar that is value to value. So you'd think that the game would start you off at 0 and would take you up to 100 or negative 100 or whatever it is. The scale is actually 0 to 100, but you start at 50. So 50 is the neutral morality 0 is full dark side, 100 is full light side. Now, light side and dark side points actually are not numerical. It is actually a weight system. So if it says that you gain light side points, you actually don't gain light side points. You just gain more of a weight factor towards the light side on that scale. It's really complicated, but essentially it's just kind of like, did this option kind of move you in this direction? If so, then yes, you gain a weight factor based on light points. So it's not a set value. It never tells you how many light points you get for a very specific reason. It's because they're very inconsistent. Some choices get you more, some choices get you less. As you get more light side, the light side choices are worth more. As you get more dark side, the light side choices are worth less, etc. So that changes. So it is a weight factor. However, now that we got a plasma torch, I'm actually going to put this in the second slot. I think it... Nope. Switch weapons. H! Hell? Alright. Security won't do anything, obviously because it's broken, so we have to bash it.
Emergency lockdown overridden.
There's our sword. What we want is actually a blaster. We won't get that quite yet. We need to wait a bit.
Emergency lockdown is in effect. Turbolifts have been sealed to contain the explosion.
One problem I do have with this game, and this is a very huge apparent thing, is everything the game tells you, you essentially have to unlearn 5 seconds later. For instance, hey, you can use security skill to open shit. Oh wait, you can't use security skill on things because they can't be opened with security. You need a security tunneler. Use the security tunneler. Oh wait, this can't be opened with a security tunneler. It's too difficult, even though it's a solve all problem security tunneler. Hey, you need a plasma torch to open this door because it can't be opened with security. Hey, guess what? Here's a door that can't be opened with security, plasma torch, or security tunnelers. I don't know why they do this. I would make things a little bit more consistent, personally, but fiber cutter, weapons, and get ready for a fight. Now this is gonna be pretty bad because you don't have strength for melee. What we want is a blaster. There we go. So, something about loot in this game, which ties into what is currently above my head, is it's random. There are a few set items. For instance, you'll always find a blaster in this room, and you'll always find a vibro cutter in this room. So, I think out of all the actual items that are in this game, less than 10% of those items are static, which means that you'll always find them in the same location. Less than 10% of those items. Everything else is RNG. So for instance, the Mandalorian Disintegrators there, 100% RNG drop. We could go this entire playthrough and not get one. I really hope not. I want 2 of them. But that could happen. Same with the Mandalorian Rippers. Wait, actually. Might be addendum to that. Okay, yeah. So, Mandalorian Disintegrators are 100% random drop. Mandalorian Rippers are 100% random drop. Well, 99% random drop. There is one that is static in the game. Kex on Duxon will always have one of them. Micro Pulse Blasters are also RNG drops. And the Zabrak Heavy Blaster can be found on Nar Shaddaa and the Isis spaceport consistently. So no matter what, we'll be getting some of the gear that we actually want. It's just that the best stuff, which is, I really love how they do this, is 100% RNG. Because that means you have to play through multiple times to get what you want. Oh, hello. Can I turn off tutorial pop-ups? Yep. I don't need them. A lot of droid parts that we can't use.
This is the exit, but it is sealed. Strange. In my visions, it was open.
Why are you in my head? Kreia? Nope, silence. Try to find some way to open the hatch. It is odd the emergency hatch has not opened considering the circumstances. There may be a way to open it if you could get access to a terminal. Alright. This is true. In an emergency situation, you would think that the emergency access would be open, but it's not. So everyone seems to be very dead. That's a security tunneler. Can we just security this? Yep. Because of skills. Okay, security desk. Security records. Fun fact 4 coming up.
Is this thing on? Alright, all hands, especially you, KotoR. Listen up, because I'm not gonna say this again. The next one of you Juma heads to try and smuggle a blaster, or so help me, any sort of military-grade frag weapons into my facility is gonna take a long walk out the airlock. Why? Because in case you forgot, Paragian fuel explodes at high temperatures. That's what blasted that chunk out of Paragus 2 and created this asteroid field. So if I catch any of you with anything other than sonic charges or mining lasers, I'll burn you and your contract. Security out.
Okay. There's actually 2 fun facts wrapped into this. First, we'll talk about Paragus. So obviously we got a little bit of a hint of Paragus history there. So what Paragus 2 is, it's a fuel mining facility, the planet, and there's a lot of it. There's a lot of it in the crust. I don't know what fuel it is, but apparently it's, again, very explosive at very high temperatures. Now what happened was there was an accident where it was either an explosive or a blaster that was not rated for mining and set off a gigantic explosion on Paragus, which basically exposed the core of the planet to space, which is actually a really fun science fiction concept now that I think about it. Beyond that, the security officer is actually responding to an event that happened while you were incarcerated, or just before then. And we actually get to see that person. Oop, can I? Him. Atten Rand. He showed up to Paragus with this stuff that is not rated for mining or any use around Paragus. He showed up and is in the cell for that. So when you actually go talk to him, he says, I'm in here for because I broke some regulation or another. It's because of this. So the security officer is talking about this. They try to mislead you by saying, especially when he says, all right, everyone listen up, especially you, KotoR, is because KotoR is a troublemaker here. You will find that out very quickly, that KotoR is a troublemaker here. So they try to throw you off. But if you actually connect the 2 events, which is very uncommon to do, Atten is actually the one that caused that security message to be sent out. Here's a fun fact.
And according to one of the miners, it was because one of the sonic charges went off prematurely. And like before, it was one set by a mining droid. The 3 idiots were so close to the charge, it might as well have been a grenade going off. The blast turned their bones to dust. The blast wrecked the internal components of the droid that set the charge, though, so we can't even dissect it to see what happened. I don't like what's going on here. Ever since that Jedi showed up, things are getting worse. It's not just KotoR and his miners, or the fights, but now the droids are acting crazy. If we don't find what's causing this, or who, this facility is going to be space dust by the time the next Telos freighter arrives.
Alright, so the next bit of information we're presented with is something's going on with the droids.
So, you're in maintenance. Then maybe you can tell me what's going on with these droids.
Sir, I don't know. It's like their behavior cores are undergoing binary decay, but I can't find the source. This shouldn't be happening.
Well, that That's reassuring. It isn't happening. So the next time we nearly have a breach in the ventilation tunnels, I could just close my eyes and pretend it's my imagination. You better give me some answers. I want to know the damage these droids can do if they start mining us instead of asteroid rock.
Sir, these droids aren't combat models. Their mining lasers are weaker and less accurate than blasters. I doubt those droids could even hit one of us.
Are you blind? What about the miners in Medbay? It's sabotage, and it started right after the commander said we weren't going to sell the Jedi to the exchange. So I want you to find out how these droids are being sabotaged. That'll tell me who's trying to clear a path to get that Jedi off the facility and stop him. In the meantime, make sure the security's armed with all the ion and sonic charges you can find. If those droids start coming after me, I'm gonna need more than low-grade mining lasers to take them down. Clear?
Yes, sir. Maintenance control out.
Idiot.
So, next piece of information. Droids are being affected, but we don't know why. We are led to suspect that is the maintenance officer, which is reasonable. And also that there's a bounty on our heads for some unknown reason. Guess we'll find out.
I installed an override switch to shut down any droids on this level, just in case someone locks me out of the administration console. As added insurance, I tied the override switch into the circuit to the holding cell door. It'll make sure it can only be opened if all droids in the level are shut down. I doubt KotoR or any of his men have the skill to pull off something like this, but I'm not taking any chances while we're sitting in the middle of this asteroid minefield. Whoever's responsible won't be able to have the droids rescue him after I lock him up. Nothing will cut through that door. He'll be trapped. I secured the stealth field generator inside one of the footlockers in the security storage room. If I have the specs right, the interface field should be effective against the droid's sensors. All I need to do is equip the belt, and some skill with stealth in order to use it. As long as I don't get too close to the droids, they shouldn't detect me. If any more droids start malfunctioning, the belt should buy me enough time to get to the override switch I set up in the communications blister console. I'd rather shut them down than destroy them. I want to find out how these droids are being sabotaged, maybe even turn them against whoever's sabotaging them.
You hear the game mechanics being explained there? I love it. Anyways, there we are. That's our first big fight. Communications blister, holding cells we already saw, has a dude in it. Emergency hatch to the mining tunnels. We're in this room to the right. And that's about it. Alright. So. We haven't found the stealth field generator yet, which I think is in the room that the droids are in.
Be careful. There is much energy in the room beyond, yet it stems from nothing that lives. Can you not sense them? Reach out. Cast aside your sight. Cast aside what you see, and instead reach out with your perceptions. Ah, you can feel them. The droids you cannot perceive, but the small oscillations of energy, that you can feel, echoing outwards.
Echo. Precognition power. When this is triggered, you should save your game. There are two mechanics that they have in this game that tell you to save your game, which is Atten had a bad feeling, and the premonition power. I think Atten only says I have a bad feeling about this once in the game, which is when they introduce that mechanic. And then the precognition power, I think, happens only 3 times. And they're all during times where you don't need to save your game because they're the easiest enemies possible. Oh, we'll save anyway. That's not the button. What is the button? Key mapping. Game. Quick save is F4. Why? I'm gonna change that around. I feel like I'd screw that up a lot. Okay? But we'll save anyway. And we're gonna fight him. Hello!
You hear it. It is fate.
So this always happens. Sorry. This always happens when you hit level 2. When you hit a level up. If you do everything up to this point that gets you XP, it will happen in the middle of the fight. Just a fun thing. Feels strange, like the sedatives are wearing off.
It is the Force you feel. It has not been so long as for you to forget.
Like a sound, but...
Do not turn away from it. Listen. Feel it echoing within you. Come. I shall guide you down the familiar paths. You will need it if we are to survive and escape this place.
Gaining experience will slowly reestablish your connection to the Force, aka why you have more abilities later on. We're gonna take that level up. So we got Force Sensitive, which gives us a bonus to our Force points, and Unarmed Specialist, which is useless, but... Skills. Security, computer use, treat injury, awareness, and upgrade our stealth. Powers. Must refer to the book of build. Make sure I do this correctly. Do we have Force Deflect yet? No. Level 6. Gonna mark that down. When I was making this build, I didn't have the list of everything. So... Level 6. Yeah. This is one of my priority powers. Force Heal is level 6. And energy resistance. Ow. What I want is actually Force Speed, though. Force Speed is a huge priority. Reason why is because when you get to the later stages, like this one, restricted by armor. Right, I need to find Force ability armor. You get 1 attack per round. And then when you get Astro Speed, you get 2 extra attacks. So if you're using Flurry or Rapid Shot, this is where it comes in where you have 4 attacks per round. Because Rapid Shot and Flurry are 2 attacks, and then with Master Speed, you get an extra 2. That's 4 attacks. A lot of damage. A lot of damage. Anyway, so we'll get that power. We're gonna accept it. Okay. Now, self-fuel generator should have been one of these. Really. Yep, there it is. We're actually going to use it. Because we can get a ton of XP and repair parts here in a minute. Now, if you don't go through the security logs, you won't notice the override switch unless you have a really high intelligence, which I think is 12 or higher, but we have an intelligence of 14, so. So the security field on the holding cells goes down and all the droids are shut down. You get 400 XP for that, and now you can just go up to each of the droids. You can do computer stuff. Looks as some recent modifications have been made to this unit's vocabulator. Check the last time it received commands. It looks as if their mining protocols have been set to mine any organics and any unauthorized droids in the facility. This is the case, and the mining droids have likely wiped out everyone and everything in the facility. So you can switch it to defend organics, useless. You can disable it, or we can just scavenge for spare components, which we will. And then you can disable it. And we're going to do that to every single droid. And every time you examine it, it's just going to come up with the same thing. So after you look at one, you can just scavenge and disable. Pretty easy time. And we will actually need our components too. Because crafting. I think that's all. Oh.
Emergency lockdown is in effect. Turbolifts have been...
Let's go quick here. Components, always good. Head up to the other one. Oh. Okay. Haha. Why does it come up with that message? Wonder why. Alright, we can head back to the holding cells now. And get some new dialogue.
Beyond this door, someone yet lives. Be mindful. His thoughts are difficult to read.
Oh. And then he scratches his head because Kreia was
from this one,
read him.
and he might yet prove useful.
Alright. Now hilarious dialogue.
Nice outfit. What, you miners change regulation uniforms while I've been in here?
Who are you?
Atten Rand. Excuse me if I don't shake hands. The field only causes mild electrical burns.
Are you locked up?
Security claimed I violated some trumped-up regulation or another. Take it up with them if you want. But they stopped listening to me shortly before they stopped feeding me. Now that's criminal.
So there you go. That explains why there's a security message about it. Facility's deserted. What happened?
You mean before or after that Jedi showed up? Either way,
What
it's
Jedi?
a real short story. You see, this Jedi shows up, and you know what that means. Where there's one Jedi, the Republic will soon be crawling up your ion engine in no time. But the story gets better. See, some of the miners get it into their ferrocrete skulls that since the Jedi's unconscious, they can collect the bounty the exchange has posted for live Jedi. Well, what passes for the law here didn't like that idea. So the two groups started fighting. Then there was some big explosion. I was sitting here for a long time. Then you showed up in your underwear and things got a lot better.
There's a bounty on captured Jedi? Why?
Don't know much about it. Maybe the Exchange wants one as a trophy, or somebody's got something against Jedi and is looking to collect. Not many Jedi left. Wouldn't surprise me if the bounty's pretty high.
Not many Jedi left? What happened to them?
The ones that weren't killed in the Jedi Civil War ended up switching off the lightsabers long ago. Word is there's not even a Jedi Council anymore, but who knows?
The stories I heard rumors of a war, but a war between Jedi?
Yeah, Revan, Malak, and the Jedi that went to join them in the Mandalorian Wars. They turned against the other Jedi and had a scrap that almost laid waste to the galaxy. Where have you been?
I've been away since the Mandalorian Wars.
Well, I wasn't there, but like all Sith, Revan and Malak turned on each other. After they turned on the Jedi, of course.
I was led to believe that Revan saved the Jedi and the Republic. Canon.
I guess. There's rumors all over space about it. All I heard was Revan returned to pay Malak back for trying to kill her in the first place. You know women.
Her? How long have you been in that cage? Revan was a man, not a...
Maybe you're right. Maybe I just hoped Revan was a woman.
Alright. I had some questions for you.
Look, not like your half-naked interrogation isn't a personal fantasy of mine, but... Hey, wait a minute. You're that Jedi the miners were talking about. Where is everybody?
I don't know. This facility seems abandoned.
The miners can't all be gone. But if they are... Look, hey, let me out and I can help you. I can. I've gotten out of trouble countless times.
Tell me your plan and we can go from there.
This facility isn't a military installation, which means we may have a chance. You shut down this cell security field and I can reroute the emergency system so we can get to the hangars. We grab a ship and then we fly out of here.
One thing first, the patients in the medical bay were killed with lethal dose of sedatives. Know anything about that?
No, should I? Maybe you should ask one of those miners who was thinking about
I
selling you
feel
to
that.
the Exchange. Maybe they wanted to drug you up for transport. Ever think about that?
Calm down, I was just asking, not accusing.
You better watch yourself. I don't like being accused of something I didn't do. When I kill someone, trust me, you'll know. Got it? So you done interrogating me, or are we gonna work together and try to get out of this mess?
What? I've never failed those before. Alright,
Great. Now to business. Let's get to the command console.
Okay.
Alright, here we are. Now this console is set on automatic hail. You may have heard it when you came in. The asteroid drift charts are constantly being updated, so it sends out a transmission to incoming vessels so they don't get crushed into space dust. The hail warns them to keep their distance until orbital drift charts are transmitted, and then provides docking instructions to incoming ships, usually freighters. Thing is, you can bounce that same transmission back to the comm here, and suddenly you've got access to the communication system from the inside. Pure Pazak. The console's ours. Now, all we need to do is reactivate the turbo lifts, cancel the emergency lockdown. Hey!
What's wrong?
This system's been severed from the main hub, after it was locked down from remote. You can't even reroute the system, it's been cut clean.
That wouldn't be standard procedure in an emergency lockdown.
No. Someone tried to lock down this whole level tight, and leave us here. Trapped.
Is there anything else we can do?
I doubt it. All we have is communications back. For all the good trying to shout in a vacuum will do us.
Can we contact the miner?
We could try. But if the miners were trying to trap you up here and probably kill you, why not call them and chat? I don't think a friendly call is going to wake them up.
Maybe there's something logged in the terminal that can give us...
Be my guest. Not much else we can do. The comm's all yours.
Cool. I've never failed those persuasion checks before. That is so interesting. Administration logs. Alright, first one.
Tracked the freighter in. Was lucky it wasn't destroyed when it drifted into the asteroid field. Not much on board. One damaged droid, one annoying protocol droid, and a lot of bodies. Sent the survivor to medical. the others to the morgue. Didn't recognize the ship's ID code, so we transmitted it to the Republic for some answers. Questioned the protocol droid about what happened. Says his master, the survivor, I guess, was on the Republic ship the Harbinger when it suffered an engine failure. He says the survivor was a passenger on the vessel and a Jedi. If so, that's gonna mean true.
What protocol droid? I don't remember there being a protocol droid on the Ebon Hawk.
Inventoried the bodies and cargo. Everything matches the protocol droid's story. The T3 droid had seized up, so we left it in storage in standby mode. Don't know what code will access it. It could be it's voice activated for all we know. We put the protocol droid to work in maintenance, sorting the mining droid comm routines and updating the recognition sensors. And to shut him up. When the survivor recovers, hopefully we can get him off this station before there's a...
What was the protocol droid doing?
Trouble between the work shifts. Word of the Jedi leaked out and the miners aren't sure what to do with her. KotoR's mining crew wanted us to collect the credits for the bounty the Exchange has on Jedi, but I put a stop to that. We're contacting Telos to get the Republic records on the Jedi, but nobody will... no word from the Republic. But I've sent out a broadcom transmission for records on this Ebon Hawk. One of the miners said it used to be a smuggling vessel. Accidents are making the miners restless. The droid behavior course must be undergoing some kind of binary decay. 2 miners were drilled by a droid's mining laser, and those blasts in the ventilation tunnels nearly caused the whole facility to blow.
Well, we established that something's going on here. Dormitories. No response. Hangar Bay 25. You access Hangar Bay 25, there's a series of low-pitched whistles and beeps. It sounds as if there is a utility droid on the other end. Hello? You operational? We're trapped on the administration level. Can you unlock the turbo lifts? Is there some other way out of here besides the turbo lift? I'd rather risk it than be trapped up here. I need food. What do I want for lunch? 12:30. $5 off an order of 15 or more. Kind of want a sandwich. I don't want to eat a shit ton of food while on stream, but I do need to eat because if I don't eat, I'm not going to eat until I get off stream, which is going to be in a long time. I need to eat. Chat, what should I get for lunch? I want a sub. All right, we'll look over these logs in a sec here. That's healthy? Yeah, it is. Okay. It's actually a long ass delivery time. 45 minutes? What? All the way from Sage Hill. What the F? Oh, here we go. That's what I want. Subs. Black Forest ham, right? Yeah. Get a ham sub. Foot long. Extra cheese. 3 times the extra cheese, please. Italian. Oh my god, they actually have options now. I haven't ordered Subway from Uber in a long time, and they have better options now. They actually have options for toasted. Fantastic. Lettuce, tomato, onions. Do I want a sauce? Nah, I'll pass. I get two. The code. All flavors. Saving $5. Tight. Alright, cool. Food's ordered. Now we just need to wait a really long time. Okay. Journal entry, Progress 2. Rescue Mitra Surik. You're trapped on the Progress administration level and have activated T3 to unlock the emergency hatch to allow you to escape. T3 will need to find a console that ties into the Progress command control and open the emergency hatch by remote. Ugh. Galactic History bonus mission. You have been out of touch with galactic events since the Mandalorian Wars. You should try to discover what has happened in the galaxy since your exile. Perhaps Kreia will know more once you have escaped Progress. Cover the Ebon Hawk. You'll need to find the ship you and Kreia arrived on, the Ebon Hawk, and escape the mining facility as soon as possible. Recent history. You met an elderly woman named Kreia who informed you that she rescued you from the Harbinger. Why? She said that you were the only survivor of the vessel and that it had been attacked. You have no idea how you got off the Harbinger, however, nor how you got here. Oakley Bay murders. You found records showing that a lethal sedative treatment was given to the miners in the Progress Mining Medical Bay. You received the same lethal dose but survived. You should try to find out who administered the treatment and why they tried to kill you. Hint, it was the same person. Those components in Sonic Grenade. Do I not have... Thought I had mines. I guess not. Of course, because it's an RPG, first thing you should do is loot around the room. Really? Armor pipe plating on Progress. Okay. I mean... Okay, so going back to what I was talking about with loot. There are two places on Progress that will give you the next tier of loot as huge upgrades. One is a secret cache in the dormitories, and the second is not on Progress, but on Progress, which we'll get to. Journal entry added. It will tell you that you found the Ebon Hawk, but you can't get to it. Several parts have been removed from this console, and a laser drill has been used on a number of subsystems. Odd. Despite the damage, however, the console's basic functionality was intended to be restored quickly by replacing the missing parts. Odd. Replace one of those parts. I don't have it. But we will get it. You have to go a particular direction to do that. Oh, hello. Ooh, T3 took a hit too. T3, do you just wanna... That was weird. The droid shock arm... Yeah, unlimited ability. I just wanted to make sure. Oh, hello. Some of the droid stuff is limited use. I think the flamethrower is out of 10, so you have to find a bunch of them to use them. Droid shock arm is really good against droids, go figure. And unlimited. Not sure I would have done that in game design myself, but I mean, hey. It's all good. All my orders confirmed. Estimated delivery in, 20 minutes. Cool. While I eat, guys, when the food gets here, we'll just watch a couple YouTube videos while I quickly chow down some food. So if you guys have recommendations of funny YouTube videos to watch, would be appreciated. Otherwise, I'm just gonna put on other stuff. Okay, so we found a data pad. Purged the fuel lines and I found 3 sonic charges attached inside. I checked the work logs and only droids have been in the area. I tried to contact security as soon as I found the explosives, but I can't seem to get a signal through. I removed the remote detonators and I'll keep the explosives on me until I can put them in a secure hold in the hangar. Interesting. Why were there explosive devices attached inside the fuel lines? Find that. I think what is the workplace safety? It's a workplace safety something. It's an acronym, but essentially that seems like a huge violation. Okay, so now we got explosives, we can head back. Oh, more droids have showed up. But not only that, but they have energy shields. 90% of damage in this game is energy based, so if you find energy resistant stuff, use it, because that counts as lightsabers, blasters, pretty much everything. Why am I... There we go. Should not be using the blaster, but I can just use a shock arm. Become Death Destroyer of Worlds. Okay, so now that we have mines, we should be able to go in here. What? Huh. Alright. Droids are weak to ion, so any armor that you can have that defends against ion is really good. Okay, so what's in here is the other droid from the Ebon Hawk, 3 CFD is in here, and I think a few items, but I said I was going to stop using the difficulty changing. I'll stick with that, so we'll just leave it for now, unless I somehow get a level up from this. I don't like doing layouts because I like seeing where I've gone. We'll look at logs, though. All incoming and outgoing freighters need orbital drift charts transmitted to Paragus in order to navigate the asteroid mining field surrounding it. Without it, any vessel entering or leaving Paragus is in danger of being destroyed in the asteroid field. We're going to transmit the orbital drift charts to the Ebon Hawk. Except the thing is locked because of someone. Instead, we're going to download them. Then we're going to access the log. Contraband.
A lot of cargo from the Jedi's freighter is being stored in the secure cargo hold until we can pass it through the quarantine checks. And as requested, all the programming spikes the security officers wanted confiscated have been stored there as well, to prevent further system compromises. The secure cargo hold should be safe enough. If anybody wants to break into it, they'd have to blow it open with explosives.
Maintenance violation.
Who ordered the mining droids to repair that Jedi's freighter? I come in here off the work shift and 3 of them are repairing the port stabilizers? Did I miss something? Is somebody planning a trip? Because orders were that the hangar was to be locked down ever since that Jedi arrived. I don't know what maintenance is up to, but you can't just commission droids for repairs, especially with half the work shifts in medbay. Those droids are needed to repair the ventilation tunnels before gas builds up to terminal levels. It's not like that ship can go anywhere anyway. Even if it had the asteroid orbital drift charts, the navicomputer's been voice-locked. You'd need the access code to get it spaceworthy. Considering this latest droid commission breach, I'm putting the droids in this section under the control of the current dock officer. If anyone sends commands to the mining droids outside this terminal, I'll be forced to enact full override.
Part of the Star Wars universe I really need to wonder is all these logs and stuff is essentially like diaries. Who does this? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, very high-end jobs, you know, like corporation businesses, military would, like, keep logs like this, but mining installations, I'm not so sure. I think it would all be in text form, but of course, in a game, reading a bunch is not really fun. So, I get why they did voice acted, or I get why in Star Wars they have to do that, because it's
like those droids got the vessel working again. Even with all the damage it had taken.
Enjoyability.
The maintenance officer still won't admit ordering them to fix it, though. Regardless, still no luck accessing the navicomputer. It's been voice-locked. Maybe by one of the corpses we found on the ship. Like the old woman. If so, that ship isn't going anywhere. Unless we rip out the navicomputer and put in a new one. If we even had one to spare. The only reason someone would lock their navicomputer is to hide their astrogation charts. Someone didn't want us to know where that ship was going. Or where it had been. Only smugglers do that, or someone with something to hide. That Jedi's got a lot of questions to answer.
The ship has been somewhere. 100%. Main functions. Camera controls. Ebon Hawk. Where we were. Hey, look, it's 3 CFD and 2 unopened containers. Functions. System. Run a diagnostic on undamaged systems. Signal unit destroyed. System from hangar inoperative. Looks as if the communication system was purposely burned out with a mining laser. Even if you had the parts, you don't think you could contact the administration level from the computer. Interesting. Okay. Access to the Paragus emergency subsystems has been rerouted to a fuel depot computer terminal, and the connecting circuits have been burned out with a mining laser, preventing remote access, so we have to go down there manually. Check status of emergency subsystem. Hangar base sealed, fuel depot sealed. We don't have any spikes. Which I think we can just open the door manually? How close are we to a level? Ooh, we're a ways off. Yeah, so I won't be able to get the door. We can, however, come back later. We do... What side is it? We do actually come back and visit this area. Am I supposed to have a computer spike here? Or is it a security tunnel? Tell me. Yeah, because that one goes to... actual hangar. This one we need to go down here. I'm missing something. Interesting. I've never encountered this problem. I missed something down here, maybe? If I have a problem, I'm just gonna add in a computer spike real quick, because I might have used that spike on something that I should not have. Which is entirely possible. Corpse, nothing, nothing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to add a spike in. Okay. Whoops. That feeling when you soft lock the game. Do I actually have a load? Try doing a load. Food's about 2 minutes away. Oh wait, no, this is just when I came back in. Shit. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go into the save file and add in a computer spike. Just one. Yeah, because I think I did use that computer spike for something that I shouldn't have yet. And the really unfortunate part is that T3 can actually make computer spikes, but only if you talk to him, which you can't talk to yourself. Unless I'm missing something else, dude. I am not. Okay. So I'll just have to hit the save editor and do that. Whoops. Okay. Gotta go into the save editor. How do I get there?